Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone who is joining us from across the globe. I have started a minute earlier. It's always good to be on time, so I thought I will. And considering that there were some people in the waiting room, so I thought it would be best to have started earlier, exchange pleasantries before, and get the logistical aspects out of the way first, right? So awesome. So we are gathered today for the session on the EPAT program from QuantInsti. And the highlight of the session would be also the live Q&A with our senior faculty co-founder, Nitesh Khandelwal. While I mention about that, I would expect and request everyone to keep adding your questions onto the Q&A panel, as in when you have one. And I'm sure that you will have a lot of questions during the session, right? While I take you through the EPAT program. Now, before I do that, just a few things. The Q&A part of the platform or the interface that you see, the Q&A panel, would be where you can add your questions. But before that, I would love to get some response to understand if you can hear me well. You can see the title slide. And of course, if you can see my image. So if you could just type in a yes onto the Q&A panel for me, that will be lovely. Thank you, Mithul. Thank you, Anthony. Thanks, Andres. Thanks, Chandresh. Thanks, Alexander. Thanks, Navjot. Thanks, Ravi. Thanks, Jeff. Lovely. Thanks, Vaughn. Nice to see you all. I can also see a few of them whom I've spoken to. So thank you for joining in. So let's start without any further ado. So this is going to be the agenda. So I'm going to take you through the EPAT program, the nitty-gritties of it, and then we would get into the key highlights of what the program has to offer, and then we will move on to a live Q&A with Nitesh. The attempt is to give you as much interface with Nitesh so that we can have our Q&A done. It is going to be revolving around what is the EPAT program, why it is there, where it is here, where it is there, and of course, what can be your takeaways and your queries. A little bit dabbling around with the domain is okay, but we will not go into the nitty-gritties of strategy and what you can get, etc. But yes, as much as we can cover. A lot is dependent on me to give you a time phase with the FaceTime with Nitesh because I've got loads to cover. So I will dive right into it. All right. So let's start with the poll. I and Nitesh, we both would like to understand what is the entire demographics. So I'm launching the first poll. I would request everyone to be very, very, very interactive here and fast so that we have more time coming through. The idea is to understand what you want from or what you expect from the program, from the session, and how it describes you the best. Super, we are at 27% of attendance, of interaction. I would expect it to be 70 plus, and only then I'm going to shut it off. Super. So it is 48% who want to know more about the EPAT program. 30% is more towards understanding more, yeah, because they're exploring the EPAT program. 20% who have got questions. I'll wait for 5 more percent and 3 more seconds. Super, lovely. I'm closing this off as of now. So The overall percentages, so 18% have got unanswered questions about EPAT and they're exploring. 30% are exploring, but do not have much questions, but thank you for attending. A lot of people do not know about the EPAT program and want to know more. That is 47%. And 5% are people who are not exploring enough. All right, lovely. Thank you. So let's understand why people are moving towards quantitative and algorithmic trading space. And these are the, on a broader scale, these are the main challenges that people are facing now, or they want to cross the bridge under which these pain points lie. And this is majorly towards a lot of people that I speak with are trying to overcome redundancy in their professional space or the domain of financial markets, where they're not able to adopt technology, the quantitative side of skill sets, uh, building their skill sets in on the analytical sides. So they have been utilizing human biases and charts, etc. Not that it is bad, but the trend of the industry is moving towards utilizing more modern approaches. People who have not been able to get sophisticated and evolved training, that's where we stand. And of course, there are a lot of other peer group institutes which can be looked at. Um, Unreasonable expectations from algos, which is, of course, we had done a session about debunking myths of the algo space some time ago, year ago or more. Willingness to upskill. So this will and can be overcome with a lot of motivation from, one, the industry trends. When you look at the industry moving ahead, your willingness should come forth from there. And of course, from a lot of resources that we provide, which can give you opportunity to test the waters before you dive and build the willingness to jump into the domain. And a lot of people have a humongous care of how the compliance and the regulatory framework works in this industry, which of course is covered in EPAT. If you have any questions around this, you know what to do, add it to your Q&A panel. What is EPAT? EPAT is a platform built around 2010 to make a lot of resources accessible to whoever's aspiring in the industry, professionally, or in retail. I was having a word with a gentleman from Germany, based in Germany, who had a question, what I should look at, the professional space, or I should move into the retail side of things, because he has got the skill set of programming, but not of trading side of the industry. But if you can, why not both, until and unless your professional employer allows you to do both. So that is a caveat. There are some organizations who don't. And keeping those objectives in mind, if you see the fifth point on the slide, you can try and achieve your objectives through EPAT, because EPAT provides more objective-based learning along with the concepts, of course, and not end your learning on concepts only. This is the delivery mode, live, online. You get access to recorded lectures through the journey, and even when you become an alumnus of the program. You have a dedicated support manager who can help you through this, where they're available 7 days a week. Whenever you get into, because it's a weekend only lectures, whenever you get into a weekend lecture, before that, you get pre-reads, and after the weekend lectures, you get a lot of assessment-based quizzes and assignments, so that you and us, we both understand how much you were able to grasp. This is not to grade you, but to actually understand how much you have grasped, and if you need any gap filling along the way. We have an escalation matrix where you have got your dedicated support manager or engineers, support engineers, I mean, or you have got teaching assistants. And then you have, if say 3 to 4%, where your people have not been able to understand or help you with the query, the faculty members would have uh, one-on-one face time with you to address your question. The idea is to address your query/question. And of course, the delivery mode is the front end, but all the live lectures are, most of the live lectures are taken by current industry practitioners. Most of them are veterans in their industry or their expertise, which itself builds a lot of credibility to the learning that they impart because of their experience and their inclination to build this ecosystem or domain hand in hand. So we, as QuantInsti and the partners and faculty members connected, we share the same vision of growing the domain. Now let's get into the next poll. That is just to keep you all engaged. However, but the objective of this particular poll is to understand what would you like in the learning program that you pick. So be it a retail trader or your professional trading or getting a job, what would you want to have as a criterion or criteria that you would want to have in your learning program? I would expect you all to go through the drop downs first before you select. I'm going to keep this on for 30 seconds max. But considering that we have a good percentage of participation, I think we can close it earlier. And it's good to see a good turnout. I mean, we were expecting a fewer percentage, but I think it's a good turnout. And thank you all for participating and taking out the time through this. Awesome. We already hit the 75% mark. I'll wait for 3 more seconds. And I will end the poll now. Awesome. So we have got 54%, which is driven towards practice and application. We have got 17% towards industry acceptance of the certification, and then equally shared on the well-defined structure and the objective attainment of the particular aspirant or participant. So thank you, everyone. And I think we are in line with your expectations. Super. Let's get into the program. Again, as of now, if you've got any questions, the Q&A panel, please. And now it's going to be heavy and it might be a little faster. Okay. So first, let's go to the takeaway. So this is the EPAT flowchart or the EPAT map, as we call it internally. Okay. This is why I mentioned this, because this gives you a very eagle-eye view of the entire structure, which is divided into multiple types of resources, which is preparatory sessions, primers. Primers are nothing but something which comes before even the batch starts, and EPAT lectures, which is your live lecture formats, optional sessions, which are additional to the curriculum that you see on the brochure or the curriculum, EPAT resources. Optional sessions are your doubt-solving sessions and tutorials. EPAT resources are the ones which are over and above the curriculum. There are certain mini projects which will help you specialize in certain topics of choice. This, in an overall compass, helps you get one, live lecture learning, with the doubt solving and optional session, surety of grasping what you learn. The EPAT resources will help you dive into complementary learning. And of course, the primers will give you more preparatory learning before you dive in. So in the laying of foundation, we go into building your trading psychology, microeconomics, your market microstructures, basics of Excel, stats, Python, the fund structures, etc. And a lot of people, those who ask about the database management. So we cover that as resources in the front. The key essence, the different type of strategies. So if you see the layout, you have got certain strategy which is asset class based. You've got ETFs, you've got futures, you've got options, you've got stocks. And then apart from that, you have got which are asset class agnostic. So these strategies can be applied to most of the asset classes that we cover in the curriculum and even over and above that. So I was having a discussion with a person from investment banking, and he had a question, can we go all out with this program on fixed income or debt funds or investment management strategies? So the quantitative side of the program aspects, which is say around 42% of the entire curriculum, will help you drive through the entire concept of investment banking or low volatility funds or asset classes that you might want to trade with, right? Then once you understand the modeling part of things and strategies, we train you on how to build your portfolio, which involves portfolio optimization, asset class, asset allocation in the portfolio, and the third is the risk management part. So back in the days where, for especially with the retail traders, which is still 25-30% of the cohort, of any given cohort, we want to include the risk management, risk mitigation, RMS, and risk management system in this, it's in the learning itself, so that you're not only building models, but you're also safeguarding in the codes itself, where you are setting a periphery for your models. So be it utilizing drawdowns, utilizing Sharpe ratios, etc., where you can actually set periphery for your strategies and over there. Then we get into how do you backtest your different strategies, right? So we use as basic as Excel-based backtesting, vectorized backtesting that is from scratch, event-driven backtests with different platforms, which is a part of Python. Two different platforms that we use, which is one as our own baby, that is Blueshift, a research, backtest, and trading platform today. iBridgePy, an API with interactive brokers, and then visualize or visual-based coding through Blueshift itself, right? Here, because we have gone towards backtesting and analyzing your models, we have also created three mini projects that we have seen, which is by different categories. Then we have got one dedicated module, which also involves Nitesh Khandelwal, who takes a part of the module of how to set up your trading desk, which includes, of course, we will go very briefly into the modules, but this cover your infrastructure needs, your system architecture, your business environment, your regulatory framework, etc. Right? So that is one of the key objectives of the retail or someone who wants to set up their own algo desk as a business venture. Create scripts and trading algorithmically. So this is more of paper trades, how you can go live, your execution codes, where we cover these platforms in IB, Zerodha, Upstocks, and even cloud-based interfaces or a setup utilizing AWS, where someone who wants to go more seamless with some dependency on the cloud environment. Execution of strategies, some certain places where you can go live, and the post-trade evaluation. So there was a question in the previous session that we did, which is similar nature. So we cover A to Z that you need for training and learning within the overall EPAT or Algo and Quant learning. Now, why EPAT session now? right? The reason why we are doing an EPAT session now and want to cover all your queries is because we are in the super early bird phase as of now, right? So this is the most apt phase, the most adopted phase for admissions and enrollments, where you get the most cost efficient onboarding, right? And along with the cost and the fee bit, it also gives you a lot of uh, time to prepare on your primers, your added resources that you want to take from your support personnel. And even if the primer is complete, you can really deep dive into a lot of complementary learning through our ecosystem. So this gives you a lot of bandwidth of time, ease, and grasping. Having said that, while you are ruminating about how EPAT can help you taking it up in super early bird, this is the primer, right? So this covers all the people with different walks of life and helps them bridge uh, the gap, or if you are new to any particular topic. So people come with uh, statistical or analytical background with programming, but do not have financial markets background, or they come from financial markets and have been trading for 10 years, 8 years, etc., but do not have a coding expertise. So this before the batch module gives you a lot of working exposure on these topics, right? For some people, it might be basics, but a programmer, basics of Python, you don't need to work a lot upon it. Just complete it in a jiffy and focus on the gaps. We also do 2 live sessions before the batch starts. One, which is a doubt solving session or a primer session on statistics and on Python to help you cover the doubts and queries, etc., before you dive into the lecture. The idea is that you uh, do not lag behind with your queries or drag the entire cohort behind with your basic queries, right? Even you would not like it if someone else does it. Then we dive into statistics, the basics of a little more than the basic, but basics of statistics, where we cover multiple statistical models like Bayesian, MPTs, random walk theories, so that you create a trend analysis mindset or forecasting skill set from the different statistical model. We cover most in Excel over here, uh, a bit of it, so that you understand what goes into the model, right? Because if we cover Python right from from the word go, people who do not know Python might be a little lost, and people who do not understand statistical and financial modeling. Once you get a good grasp of this, uh, not immediately in the pedagogy or in the program, but the next advanced statistics model covers with the Python injection into the module, where you cover ARIMA, ARG, GARCH model, moving average processes, archaic modeling, etc., which is a little more advanced mode of statistics. Then this happens actually before the advanced, but I wanted to give you the difference of advanced and basic stats. But then we have Python. So now when you understand modeling, we will get into understanding how you can cover the statistical model like MPT with risk reward, or how to do basic back testing with Python on historical data. So you will not be getting into too much of evolved strategies, but understanding basic backtests, your different data structures, different libraries like NumPy, Matplotlib, TALib, that is a technical analysis library, pandas, etc. Then market microstructure for more institutional trades, high volume trades, how to manage order flows, how to get into Markov model by using tick by tick data. So this is where a lot of people who are professionally bent towards quantitative modeling or managing high volume trades for themselves. Now, the heavyweight for the majority of the strategies covered. So if you see, as the title mentions, we cover equity, FX, futures, a little bit of commodities, and the other derivative, which is options, with a dedicated module at the end. Having said that, as we saw in the EPAT map, most of the strategies that we cover are asset class agnostic, right? So needless to say, a lot of price action, a lot of arbitrages can be applied to a lot of strategies. So here we cover as basic as pairs, arbitrages, a glance of maybe intermarkets arbitrages if we need. So we get into momentum-based trend following strategies, how we understand the time series, stability, volume-weighted average pricing, mean reversions, ML-based concepts, etc., that we will get into, right? So here we cover, and then we get into the position sizing for your trade execution and a little bit of risk management. Again, if you have any questions on this part, because there's a lot of things going on here, add it to your Q&A, please. Then we understand how to utilize your programmatic skills in a more efficient manner with objective-oriented programming, how to use encapsulation, aggregation, composition, polymorphism, etc. And here we have got a lot of lending hand from Dr. E. Velpesh and our in-house more programming expertise, who would take you through different backtesting methodologies with more adept approaches, and having understood on the long only and long short strategies on this front. This is the largest module. The reason, because the domain has been evolving, and a lot of people who have been sitting on the fence saying that the quantitative and algorithmic trading wave is yet to come, have now understood that people have started utilizing concepts like alternate data, neural networks, how to use sentiment, that is NLP, into their trades, right? And we should progress eventually if you are looking at this industry now, right? So people have been asking, can I break the benchmark of institutional traders? No, but you will have to start somewhere to move at least ahead of the line in the first 30, 40, 50% of the cohort, I mean, the entire domain, right? So we need to start somewhere so that without losing a lot of time duration in the industry. So here we cover as basic as decision trees to moving into vectors, neural networks, a little bit of both RN and DNN, PCA, principal component analysis. We get into understanding overfitting and how to understand cutting of the noise from the overall data sets, training your engines, and then getting into alternate data, which is parallel data that you can use to drive your models, utilizing social and news into sentiment analysis, and then getting into a basic understanding of reinforcement learning, which is a higher degree of training your own machines and engines so that you achieve a higher degree of automation eventually. Just a caveat here, we do not go very deep dive into this this topic of reinforcement learning. But if you need more guidance, we have a dedicated capstone project, which can be, for the lack of terms, exploited or on demand for your own topic, be it reinforcement learning. I've got 5 minutes and I'll try to do justice to that before I hand over the virtual podium to Nitesh. Then, as I mentioned, we have got a dedicated session on how to create your setup, your algo desk in the layman term. But this is now This started a long time back, but there are now organizations creating, even if they don't want to go all out quant and algos, they are creating their own core teams in this approach of modern approaches in their larger umbrella, and then gradually building capital and volume through these approaches, which is also a type of setting up your desk. And of course, your retail ventures, your business ventures eventually. So here we cover all the nitty-gritties of setting up your desk, like we spoke about while discussing the EPAT map, and a complete walkthrough of how you should go ahead and the parameters that you should be looking at while you set up your own desk, right? Needless to say, because you have dedicated support as a parallel, this will be more of a one-to-many approach, but you can raise uh, questions, doubts, maybe individual sessions with your teaching assistants to understand what you expect from your desk, and we can provide that ad hoc session with that required mentor or faculty, right? So that because I understand that everyone has their requirements and certain nuances that they want to focus on, be it asset class or objectives. So one of the key factors in your poll was we want it to be practical, we want it to be objective oriented, we want to dabble around with certain interface so that you can grasp. So we cover Blue Shift, like I mentioned, that is our own platform. It is a backtesting and a paper trading and a trading platform. But in the learning program, we cover both the backtesting part and on the paper trading part. Of course, you can take it live at your own willful initiative, but that is, of course, that is the earning. We do not want to have that conflict of interest between earning and learning, right? So, and then we have got interactive brokers, which gives you a lot of expansion of different markets, different asset classes, and we use iBridgePy as an API, not to say. Then, of course, a dedicated module on portfolio optimization, because this is more of a, eventually we have built this module up from the feedback that we have been getting, and the key factor of risk management. So we generally believe that your strategies should not go into spikes, both upward or downward, but it needs to be consistent and safe. Options, we cater to this the most. It's the second highest asset class traded in quant and algo trading across the globe. And we have got two gem of faculty members, which is Dr. Uwan Sinclair, with almost 3 decades of experience in this domain. And of course, our own Rajiv Ranjan Bora, who is a co-founder of iReach Capital, which I will eventually introduce. And then we cover options, Greeks, all the parameters like volatility, variance, expiration dates, how you can use hedging into your trades, and then the risk measures. Now we have a capstone project, which is the last module. I will share the link eventually, so you've got a lot of projects that you can see on the website over the same. This is your canvas. So you can utilize this particular module to customize or specialize in the topic that you want, be it an asset class of your choice or the strategy model of your choice. These are the key differentiators. So I had somewhat covered that in the poll that we had earlier. So whenever we have taken, so we do a mid-batch calls. So we have interactions with the participants or EPATians, as I call them. So these are the factors that people like in the EPAT program. So you might want to, so we covered that. And two things that we did not cover was we have got a dedicated placement assistance team. So anyone who's looking that as an objective, we have got almost 350 plus placement partners across the globe, straight from basic internship to full-time engagement, project-based engagements on need-based requirements. And the key factor is, even as it is an objective-based program over and above the concepts, we provide lifetime support on careers, on your own trading setup or your own retail trades, and on the learning front. So you will have access to the learning material all throughout. You will have access to the placement, and you will get access to all the EPATians that we have got, approximately 4,000 odd people across 90 countries, so that you can network, exchange notes and learning, hire, get hired, create business associations, and all of the above that I've mentioned have happened in the past with our EPATian alumni community. All right. These are some of our resources that we have got, and you'll have been through this. We have taken you through that. And one of the things that I would take 2 minutes and showcase. So this is how your EPAT, if you have joined in, if you join EPAT, this is how it looks. So these are our live lectures. So I'll just showcase one lecture to you and how that it looks. And so this is one of the modules which is into options. So you have got different PDFs. You have got different, these would be your live lectures, and this is how they will look. I hope this loads sooner.
What the trading pyramid consists of.
So this is a live lecture.
There are three things we need to make money trading. We need edge. Edge is the thing that...
So this is one of the lectures which is taken by Dr. Juan Sinclair, right? And I will just quickly show you how I can, there are some Python notebooks. My Zoom panel is good. Yeah. So I'll just showcase one more. So I'm showing this so that you understand what we should expect when you get into the modules. So these are your different Python notebook, Jupyter that we cover. And these are all interactive in nature. So even if you do not have support, so for example, this tells me a particular problem statement, and it tells me in line 2, input the dictionary of ticker and followed by the key price. And I go to line 2 and say, I just randomly add something which does not make sense. And I will then submit. And this 100% is going to put me into a error. And I can take a hint and I utilize this hint, and it takes me to a chapter of data structures, and there you will get a solution to what to enter on line 2. So all of the Python notebooks will cover these. We have got added resources, which I told you, which is over and above the curriculum. So you would get these resources as an add-on. So you see an AWS, because we cover cloud-based session. We have got a session on short selling, on reinforcement. We have got a CV building workshop. So people are looking at your careers. This would help. Emotional impact of market changes, building a trading psychology. Some EPATians of the past have shared their about cryptocurrencies that we cover as an add-on. Options added, trading back sheet. We also run an alumni book club. So the alumni pool is the most cherished community, because that is where the hard work has gone and they have accomplished. So a lot of interactions, a lot of alumni, from the alumni to the alumni sessions happen. So being a part of this keeps you on toes with learning, right? So that is the overall EPAT ecosystem, and this is where we cover different aspects. Pardon on this particular slide. So this is until the 31st. So these are everything that you should look at. As I mentioned, we are in the super early bird phase. So all of these things can be applied to what you're looking at if you're looking at exploring the super early bird. However, over and above that, we are giving you 4 options from some self-paced added learning, which complements your EPAT learning. So after the session, you would get a survey which will help you pick one of these options, and all the other applicable discounts can be combined with the super early bird. The additional interactive self-paced program is only for people who have registered and attending this particular session. So please remember to fill in the survey. And my colleague on the back end, that's Akhilesh, who heads the India zone, would push in Calendly for you so that you all can book a calendar slot with one of us to discuss these add-ons. Awesome. So that was me trying to keep up pace till 7:35 IST, but I could not. But now that we have gotten in, it's my honor to introduce Nitesh Khandelwal, who is the co-founder and CEO of QuantInsti. And while we are doing this, he would be leading us into Q&A. So I will be ushering the questions to him. So Nitesh looks after the overall initiatives towards building an algorithmic trading ecosystem by QuantInsti. And he has played a humongous role in this last 15 plus years to provide that traction to the domain he's been in touch with. And this is going from learning professionals to retail trades, and even from the helping the institutions to building algorithmic trading platforms. He is also the co-founder and partner at iRage, one of the biggest HFT firms in India. iRage trades at a scale of more than 1 million trades a day with its own proprietary capital. So I would love to invite Nitesh. Thanks Nitesh to taking the time and helping us with the questions.
Thank you so much for the kind introduction, Rohan, and thank you for taking a deep dive into the EPAT curriculum and the EPAT experience for our users. So thanks, and thank you everyone for tuning in. It's a pleasure to connect with you all and get an opportunity to come here and interact through your questions and hopefully give the answers to the queries that you might have. And it's something which we all of the founders in iRage, I think we all cherish this interactivity, this opportunity to interact with the people outside, because in iRage it's more like, inward, and you want the best of technology, best of people, best of everything for our own trading, right? So that's fulfilling in some ways, but in QuantInsti, we try to create that entire ecosystem where we can assist through the journey for aspiring professionals, institutions, and their journey for algorithmic trading, right from the moment they can learn about it to consuming different types of technologies that QuantInsti offers to apply, to research, to backtest, to implement in the real markets, using different algorithms, as well as for the institutions where they leverage our technology to offer different kind of tools to their audiences, to their users, by white labeling our technology and providing the tools to create and consume different type of algo trading strategies across domains. So it's been really very enriching and fulfilling for us to contribute to this domain, and I'm glad to be out here and look forward to the Q&A. So please do share your questions on the chat. I already see a few questions, so you can go through that. And Rohan, I think you can definitely highlight any of the questions that you think would be helpful for me to go through them. But I see one question from Sharmad Kotkar about does EPAT cover HFT? And that becomes quite relevant given that iRage, like Rohan mentioned, we do more than 1 million trades on a daily basis. So obviously it's high frequency trading. So iRage, and we have our own in-house technology, FPGA driven technology, which helps us in sub microsecond, or rather sub 100 nanosecond latency domain. So that is there, and that's a domain of expertise, in-house expertise. So we do cover a bit of high frequency trading in EPAT program as well. That's not the core focus per se, because obviously the focus is on quant and algo trading, which is a superset of high frequency trading, and people who are looking to apply different kind of quantitative methods, different kind of algorithms and statistical methods to in their trading in low frequency, mid frequency. So that is given due importance as well.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thanks, Nitesh, for picking the first one for us. Okay, guys, so we have got a lot of questions, and we will be taking up around 10 to 12, considering the time bit. So please feel free to add, because someone will cater to them for sure, either in the session live or eventually. All right, Nitesh, so the first question I think that has come is from Mithul, is that what platforms are covered in India for trading algo-based options?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. So I think, Mithil, there are quite a few platforms which are available. So there are two aspects to any platform that offers certain type of executable ideas, I think. So one is where it is helping in the research and test aspect of it. So which enables you to try out your ideas yourself. Another is where they are offering the trading strategies themselves. So when it comes to trading strategies, if it is non-automated, it's a different domain. If you're going into algo trading, say in India, it's basically if you're automating your stuff, right? So in that case, obviously it's the broker offered platforms, which you can consume. A lot of third-party platforms, so with full automation, that can be tricky if it is full automation, given the understanding of the compliance and the regulations in algo trading. But there are platforms, including the ones that we also help offer, like say ICICI Spring Algos or ICICI Backtester. All these are created, powered by QuantInsti. So those are the platforms where brokers are offering them with the proper empanelment and a process which is done through the exchanges. So ICICI Smart Options, these kind of platforms which are there. There are others as well, of course, you can explore. So that's my suggestion on exploring such platforms. And yeah, I think I hope that helps, Mithil.
Thank you, Nitesh. There's a very interesting question from Raman Kishore. What's the role of fast thinking as a skill to become a quant trader? If this is not my strength, then should I look at quant researcher as a career path rather than quant trader?
Okay, so fast thinking is a skill to become a quant trader. Okay, and so I think probably for fast thinking, what you're looking at is that your ability to process information faster, do the calculations in your head faster, and interpret interpret the various events which are happening or the inputs which are coming from the machine in a fast way. So if I'm guessing that right, in that case. Sure, it is helpful, obviously, in a trading role, and not necessarily at the quant trader or algo trader, but any kind of trading role where the things are changing fast. The situations are such that if you respond fast it is certainly helpful. But when it comes to algorithms, generally, most of that work is done by the machine, right? So when it comes to algo trading, most of that fast thinking or responses are done by the machines, and they do much faster as compared to to humans. So just to put things in perspective, typically the fastest humans can respond to uh, do an activity after looking at something that's somewhere around 100 millisecond or so, right? If you have just to observe something, that's around 15 16 milliseconds or so, something like that, right? The algorithms, like I was sharing earlier, latency, how you look at it, so it's generally if it goes into HFT, it's sub microsecond, and in many cases in double digit nanoseconds, so which is almost 10,000, 1 million, almost 2 million times faster, right? So that's there. And even if it is using the low frequency technology, then also you're likely to be responding much faster than that. So it's the machines that are going to be doing that largely. You can take your own sweet time, and you can program them using your thinking fast, thinking slow. If I remember, probably your question is referring to Daniel Kahneman, right? So if you're a slow thinking brain, also you can utilize and create some really cool algorithms which can do that fast thinking for you. Yeah.
Thank you, Nitesh. I think that was well put. I have Chiu Lu. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong, Mr. Lu. So Chiu Lu asks, what are the differences between EPAT and Contra as a self-paced course? Do you?
So EPAT is so both EPAT and Contra are offerings for algorithmic trading learning, algorithmic and quantitative trading learning by QuantInsti. So EPAT was something that we created when we launched QuantInsti almost 14 years back. And it's more of live online with a dedicated support, dedicated placement team, dedicated alumni community for enabling interactions and all of that, right? So that is there. So if you are someone who likes to learn in a more structured fashion, in a timely structure, right? So where you are someone who would really like that, okay, in first month this much, second month this much, I'll follow through the structure in a timely fashion, then I think EPAT is something that really makes a lot of sense. If you're someone who would like to have that last mile being a human interface, right? So EPAT is really helps on that. And if you are looking at things beyond learning, in terms of not just about learning the domain, but also other things, be it on the career enhancement, or in terms of the networking opportunities and all of that, then I think all those things are covered in EPAT. Now, Contra is more of like more than 60 courses which are there on algo and quant trading, bite-sized, as well as some quite comprehensive courses as well, but all on algo trading domain, a lot of different courses which are covered over there. The idea behind launching Contra was to help people who are, say, looking for specific things, and not overall that, okay, you want to look at the overall algo trading, but rather you want to looking to learn something specific, and are looking to learn at at their own pace. They are not really someone who can define that, okay, next 6 months or next 5 months I'm going to dedicate my weekends or these time slots for a training program. So that was the objective of launching Contra, but we tried to make sure that it's not something which is, just watching recorded videos and some PDFs and stuff, but we made it interactive, like what Rohan demonstrated earlier during the LMS. So that's our in-house learning management system. So EPAT LMS is derived through the Contra technology that we developed, So there you actually learn in an interactive fashion. So what Rohan demonstrated was an interactive exercise. We have all different kinds of units as well, Python notebooks and all those things which you can actually learn in an interactive fashion, and that's integrated with the simulators and backtesting engine and all of that. So which is again our in-house technology, Blueshift, where you can backtest, and it's a complete CP engine. So you can do all those things through Contra. So it's largely a function of what's your approach. You can go for both. You can go for either. You can pick and choose. So that's really the idea is how you can how you want to leverage the platform. And of course, the team is there to assist you through that. So if you to help you further on to understand what you're looking for, what your requirements are, and they can help you with assigning that what kind of which one would be better aligned for you, so they can share their inputs and information as well, and then you can make a decision whether it should be one or both of them, or whichever way you prefer.
Awesome. Thank you, Nitesh. There are a couple of questions which I would take, Nitesh, which is more towards the program. There's one on, there are three actually, on what is the expected opportunity salaries for fresher who are just getting into the domain new. So generally, I mean, say if I take US perspective, it should be somewhere around 70 to 75K USD per annum. If you are looking in India, there should be somewhere around upwards of 6.5, 7 lakhs per annum. But there are a lot of variables that play a role. So I would really request you all to keep those variables in mind, and depending on the profile. There was one question from Al Hassan Habiba. How long is the training going to take? So it's a 6-month, EPAT is a 6-month program, Habiba, and towards the end, the final examination would be somewhere around the 7th month. So that should be there, and you'll have your dedicated support managers who would be helping you go through these 6 months. One of the questions from Edwin Lima is about how is fundamental analysis, or rather is fundamentals covered or considered in the EPAT program?
Yeah, so fundamental analysis, we don't cover the valuation and those aspects in EPAT program, so that's not there. If you are referring to using certain factor models, that's covered a bit in the program, yes. If you are referring to how to use the fundamental information in your strategies, in your algorithms, then yes, that is covered in the program. So those aspects of fundamental investing which are related to algorithmic trading, to algorithms, yes, that is covered. The aspects which are related to fundamental valuations and more of corporate valuation and those that side of things, which is not directly linked to the algorithms as such, that is not what is covered in EPAT program.
Thank you.
Also, while you were explaining, I saw an interesting question from I think Thilai Karas.
I was just going to ask the same.
Yeah, okay, great. So it piqued my eye. So basically, the question is about if someone is interested in trading on US exchanges, then does the EPAT program covers the US related aspects, be it in terms of strategies or market access or compliance and all of that. So Thilai Karasi, yes, the faculty pool consists of global faculties. In fact, there are certain aspects dedicated towards US markets or US market microstructure as well, like Dr. Robert Kissel, he covers the market microstructure details from the US market perspective. Obviously, it tries to make it for the other markets as well, but US is the key example, there are certain in the options trading, we cover US markets, Dr. Ivan Sinclair, as well as we cover Indian markets and other markets as well. So that's there, but US market is dedicatedly covered over there. Even in the compliance and business environment session that I take, we also cover US examples, CME specific examples. So that is there. And then of course other global exchanges as well. So like Dr. Ernie Chan covers a bit on the FX side when he is talking about momentum and other things. So yes, so it's covered the global aspect of EPAT is really something where a lot of effort has gone and ensured that there is a good mix of understanding which is coming through a pool of elite faculty members and the aspects which are relevant for the participants across the globe. Because typically in any batch, typically you will have 25 to 45 participants from 25 to 45 countries, right? So in every batch of EPAT, so you have EPATians like 100 plus countries, but that's something which is there in each batch. You get so many people from different countries, so it's very important that it is adding value to a diverse pool and ensuring that it's not surface level but going deep enough for each one of them. So that part is well taken care of.
Thank you, Nitesh. And for everyone's knowledge, my colleague Akhilesh has pasted the link on chat of faculty members. So our faculty members themselves come from around 6 different countries. So just to mention that we cover we can assist on most of the dominant exchange of the dominant countries where the dominant exchanges are. So feel free to have a look at the faculty set. Would give you a better idea on the same. So we had one question that I would take it up. So Galia Eskander asked, can we work and follow the EPAT program simultaneously, if I understand, Galia? So Galia, yes, because 95% of the people who take up the program are either working professionals, majority of them, and or are full-time traders. And the design, EPAT by design is made for people who can work and do the program or full-time trade and do the program. Hence, the weekend-only lectures and 7-day assistance from the support managers. And that also suits our current industry practitioner faculty members through the journey. So yes, the short answer is yes. Nitesh, anything that comes to your eye that you would want to?
I think there are quite a few. So, so we can, I think, pick a few. I think a couple more at least, so that we are doing some justice to that questions. So, and Mandar is asking, can the knowledge gained in this program be applied in other quant jobs, which may not be related to trading? Yes, you can. In fact, we have some EPAT alumni who have applied the machine learning and other aspects that they have learned during their EPAT program. That's very kind of them to give credit to EPAT for them. For that, because their ventures that they launched, they are multi-billion-dollar ventures that they started, right? So that's something really fulfilling, because the concepts, while we ensure that a lot of it is asset and geography agnostic, market agnostic, so that they are applicable, but in different types of trading and investment methods. But the concepts also many times are similar when you go and apply to other domains as well. So machine learning remains machine learning, right? So where you are applying those things or Python skills that you're picking, so they will be useful in many other aspects as well. But obviously in EPAT program, with focus and alignment is more towards investment and trading. Yeah. And
Thanks.
I think there were a couple of questions on desk setup as well. So do we assist in setting up desk? Just now also one more question has come on that. Earlier also there was, I think I had seen one questions. So I think Zenzele had shared, Sharma had shared. So I think when it comes to setting up a trading desk, there are some dedicated sessions which help you through the whole process of how to go about it, the business aspect of it, the technology aspect of it, the people aspect of it, all those things are covered. Additionally, what we also have is that, of course, there's a lifelong guidance which is offered. So as part of the alumni community, so that comes along. We obviously love to be in touch. We try to be in touch with our alumni. We do a lot of activities which are done to stimulate and enhance the level of interaction among the alumni. So during the EPAT program, we focus on the interaction between the subject matter experts and the participants, course participants through the support team. After the EPAT is completed, we push more towards the peer-to-peer learning and opportunities that they can use to come together and explore synergies. And there are so many different ventures which has come out of EPATians collaborating with each other. So we take that responsibility seriously in terms of enabling such interactions. So that's also done. And when you are setting up a desk or launching a venture, we are really that's a in a way. That's a great feeling for us as well, because that's one of the reasons for doing this, in addition to what we do in our trading ventures, right? So it's quite fulfilling for us, honestly. So we love to assist through the process. There's no consulting. We'll not be giving you consulting, but we'll be happy to guide you and share what worked in our understanding and what may not work. So happy to share that, of course.
Thank you, Nitesh. We'll just take two more. I'll take one. So one is from Leela Anand. Do we have to stop our personal trading and investing if we work in algo trading? So Leela, not majorly, unless your employer has that kind of restrictions. So some organizations do have that, but most of them don't. So not unless, so it is not driven by the overall controlling bodies or regulating bodies, but it is more from an organization to organization perspective. So the answer is most likely no, depending on the organization. One is more about, the fee structure, is there any help in that regard? So Vishnu, we do have a lot of merit-based scholarship tests, payment flexibilities, etc. So please feel free to use the link that if I can ask Akhilesh to paste the link again. So please utilize that link to connect with us for us to help you with those aspects. Nitesh, one interesting question.
I will just add one more point. Sorry. So for people, for audience who are joining in from Singapore, so it's the Singapore government's initiative on IBF. I think it's more of a body, industry body there. So Institute of Banking and Finance Singapore. So they have accredited EPAT program under STS, Standard Trading Scheme. So that also enables any Singapore citizen or Singapore permanent resident who are residing in Singapore to get a benefit of 3,000 Singapore dollars on the fee. So that subsidy is provided since EPAT is accredited under STS scheme by them. So $3,000 is paid by the IBF to us. So obviously that gets deducted. So that's another subsidy that you can get if you're based over there. For other geographies like Rohan shared. So we have committed programs for people coming from emerging markets. So there are certain benefits which are given. So we try to support in the ways possible and different scholarships which are offered. So yes, please do reach out and we'll definitely be keen to assist.
Right. Thank you, Nitesh. The second last question, if I may request you, please.
Sure.
Now LLM is there, so if we do EPAT, then again have to take the LLM. Is LLM covered in EPAT?
So LLM, I think some instructors do share some aspect of it, that how you can leverage LLM to understand these concepts. But there are so far there are limited applications in terms of directly using them in algorithms. But of course, you can use them as your intern. I think that's the right terminology probably to use. So as an intern, as an assistant, where it can be helpful in creating some initial level stuff for sure. So that's something which can be done. But LLM in itself, we cover a bit in the machine learning side, but that's not a dedicated module at this point of time. So yeah.
Yeah. Just a caveat, Gaurav, if you want to pick it up as a project, you can do that on LLM if required.
And I think there is one course which was launched on Contra as well by that is authored by Dr. Ernie Chan
Yes.
And his colleague there. So that's there. So that focuses purely on how to use LLM and trading. So yeah. So that's also another way to look at it.
Awesome. Sharma Das, do we have opportunities with iRage as an intern or otherwise? So Sharma, we do have around 350 placement partners, as iRage is one of them for sure. However, I mean, there was another question which asked about what are the different type of organizations that are placement partners of QuantInsti. So we have got straight from large brands like Edelweiss Tokyo, EY, State Street, etc., to Alpha Grep, Cobblestone. We have got Ravenpack, etc., from Spain. So globally, we have got these large organizations, and we have got some mid-sized organizations which are there, boutique trading firms, quant research organizations, prop desks, some funds which are created. And we have an okay chunk of alumni members who have also created their own setup, who also hire back from the EPAT community, so a complete chain, right? So there is I mean, with 350 organizations, almost from every tier, every type of skill sets that can be used, quantitative, quant development in more programming heavy, front-end execution, more technology-based in terms of infrastructure and system architecture. So yeah, Sharma and the other person who had asked question around placements. I think, yes, I think that is more. Anything else that Nitesh that you want to cover in a minute max?
Well, I think there are quite a few questions that have not been answered. So please be assured that we'll be reaching out individually as well. And if there are any other questions also which you have didn't get a chance to post over here, please do share them. We'll be happy to share. And yeah, I would like to thank you all for your interest in this domain. It's a domain which has been growing fast, and all the undercurrents like technology, cloud computing, machine learning, all those things which are, in a way, constituents of algorithmic trading or contribute to algorithmic trading in different ways. So that's something. Those domains have been growing fast and are helping in kind of a spectacular stage, setting up a spectacular stage for algo trading in our understanding. So really excited for this domain, and so it's really glad to see the kind of interest that we saw in today's session, and so many of you turning in. So thank you for your time and for your interest, and we look forward to assisting you in your journey, learning journey through our offerings. So thank you.
Thank you, Nitesh, for your time and answering these questions patiently. There were many questions. And also for others, Akhilesh will push the Calendly link one last time. So anyone who has got some one-on-one queries, which is specific to their objective, their profile, and their enrollment questions or anything around that, please do utilize that link. Akhilesh, if you could push that. And please fill in the survey form and choose the complementary learning course if you're exploring EPAT, which comes as an add-on with your super early bird enrollment by the 31st of October. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for the participation. I really love it. Speak to you very soon.